In today's first reading, St. Paul is speaking to one of his disciples, Timothy, St. Timothy, who at this point in his letters is rather young, and he was just recently ordained as a priest. And the advice that St. Paul is giving him is for Timothy to remember the power behind the sacrament of holy orders that he just received. So to remember the power behind the sacrament of holy orders. And in remembering that power and allowing it to flow through him and through his actions, Timothy would go on to become a force not to be reckoned with in the Lord's service. Now, I realize that most of you listening to me right now have likely not received the sacrament of holy orders, but most of you have received the sacrament of baptism. And like holy orders, the sacrament of baptism changes a person at the level of the soul. It makes a permanent change at the level of the soul, and baptism implants in the soul of that person a set of gifts, both natural gifts and supernatural gifts, to accomplish their God-given mission, whatever that is. So that's an exciting thought, that each baptized person possesses in themselves an arsenal of tools that were designed specifically for them, specifically for you, to carry out your God-given mission. The tragedy, though, is that not many baptized people are aware of this. And so those tools or those gifts, they just remain dormant and asleep. They're like unwrapped birthday gifts in their soul. And if there's anything that this world needs right now, it's for so-called ordinary baptized persons to realize the power given to them at their baptism and allow the Lord to activate that. So how does a person go about activating the gifts given to them at baptism? There's a few ways. So, for example, a person might want to go to a Life in the Spirit seminar. It's a common practice. I myself don't consider myself to be a very charismatic person, at least by temperament, but I once had an undeniable stirring up of my own gifts at a charismatic prayer meeting. If that's not you, or if you can't get to one of those meetings, then just try this simple prayer. Lord, I give you permission this day to use the gifts that you gave me at my baptism to build up your church. And then just to watch what happens. The key really is giving the Lord permission to stir up the gifts that you were given at your baptism. And then just watch what happens. So today, let's take St. Paul's advice to Timothy and remember that at our baptism, we each received a package of gifts. And so today, let's give the Lord permission to unleash them, to stir them up and unleash them for the building up of his kingdom.